Yes, good morning everyone. Myself Dr. Mayuresh Gurme. I'm going to explain here the topic that is transducer, which comes under the unit number 5. So transducer is a device which converts one form of energy into the another usable form. Means one non-electrical quantity into the electrical quantity. So what is electrical form? Voltage, current are the example of the electrical form. And what about non-electrical form? So temperature, pressure, displacement, velocity, flow, etc. These are comes under the non-electrical form. So you can see here this particular GIF. From this GIF, I'll explain you the working of the transducer. So you can see here, this is the solar panel. Now, this solar panel will measure the temperature, and this temperature will be changing according to the weather condition. And you can see with the help of this interfacing, you can see the voltage levels are also changing. So transducer is a device which will convert one form of energy into the another form of energy. Now, why do we need a transducer? So to determine the exact magnitude of physical forces such as the temperature and pressure is very difficult. But if these physical forces are converted into the electrical signal, means if you want to measure the non-electrical quantity, that is pressure, displacement, whatever I have told you in the previous slide. If you want the micro analysis of these quantities, then you need to convert this non-electrical quantity into the electrical form in terms of the voltage and current, so that you will get a exact magnitude of your the physical forces. So that we need a transducer. So these are the example of the transducer, that is thermocouple, potentiometer, piezoelectric crystal, strain gauge and LVDT. All these things we are going to study in this under this unit. So this is the basic block diagram of the transducer. Now, so there are two elements, important elements in the block diagram of transducer. That is, one is sensing element and another is a transduction element. So we are giving the input, of course we will get the output, but we are giving the input, the process variable to be measured, and output is what? The converted into the another form, mostly into the electrical parameter, non-electrical to electrical parameter. So what about this sensing element? So sensing element, it is a part of a transducer that responds to the physical sensation. The response of the sensing element depending on the physical phenomenon. And what about transduction element? This one, the transduction element of a transducer, which will convert the output of the sensing element into the electrical signal, because we want a exact measurement of your the physical quantity. And the transduction element is also called as a secondary transducer. You can say it is a primary transducer and it is called as a secondary transducer. So this is what about the block diagram and explanation of your the transducer. Next, classification of transducer. So there are n number of transducer depending on the based on the energy source requirement, based on the physical phenomena, based on its output, based on the transduction phenomena, based on the construction. So depending on these parameters, n number of transducer is to be there. So the first is active transducer, passive transducer, which is based on the energy source requirement. Second is based on the physical phenomenon, that is primary transducer, secondary transducer. Then third is what you are the based on its output, that is analog transducer and digital transducer. Based on the transduction phenomenon, that whatever we have seen in this second block of the block diagram of transducer, that is if it is transducer or it is inverse transducer. Third one is the based on the construction, that is mechanical transducer, electrical transducer or the optical transducer. Now we will see one by one only the definition and example of every transducer. So these words indicates the meaning of this transducer, that is active, passive, primary, secondary, analog, digital. These words indicates the definition of that particular transducer. Now, what is active transducer? So active transducer are the transducer which do